Welcome in the sixth section of our course. In this section, we'll be tweaking file system access from Java API. So we'll be using file copy operations with I/O, we'll be improving performance with direct copy transfer to method, we'll be leveraging direct buffer to avoid unnecessary allocations, then we'll be using heap buffer to lower memory pressure, and finally, we'll be measuring performance of all approaches and pick the best one. So this is a first video in which we'll be using simple file copy operations with I/O. So we'll be creating base for file related benchmarks, we'll be using file copy to load and save to file, and finally we'll be validating performance of our code. So this is a file copy operations benchmark class, and let's analyze it. So we need to have a source file name and destination file name. You can set it to any directory in your file system. We are creating path for both of them. Then we have a page size that is equal to 3 megabytes. We have a page size that is equal to 4 megabytes. Then we have a parameters of bytes per operation to 4 megabytes, more like 400, and then really very high value. We'll remove it for the test purpose, but you can still run it on your local machine. Then we have a byte buffer that we are allocating using page size. And we are creating file channel that will be used to access source file. In a setup, we are checking if the file source exists. If it is, we are just deleting it because we will be creating it once again. So we are creating random access file from source file name, and it will be read and write mode. We are setting length of access file to bytes per operations. So this is our parameter. And then we are creating file channel that will be used to access that file. Finally, we are creating clearing byte buffer, and you are writing that byte buffer to source file channel. So we are filling that with some data. In a teardown, we will just remove target and source files. When we have an invocation of the specific test, we are deleting the target file and setting source file channel position to 0. And finally, we have our simplest method to do copy of files. So we are using just plain files.copy. We are taking the source and we are copying everything from the source to the target file. So let's start the test and see how does it behave. Okay, after some time we have our results. So let's see what we were measuring. We're measuring average time. So we get that average time of copying source file to target was 1700 microseconds per operation. So that number by itself doesn't tell us much, but when we will compare it with different approach, we will get a better view.